Hello guys. Just a sec. Okay. So here's what I've done. So I want to show y'all basically. Um, I've created Pokemon, and what I've done is I separated them in tiers of what I think is the best, who I think is the best for the Battle Frontier. Not exactly for like competitive, but mainly competitive for the Battle Frontier. And so I've ranked them with like S rank, A, B, you know how it goes. So first I want to start off with the S rank Pokemon. These are the Pokemon I recommend using the most out of all the Pokemon that you're able to use for the Battle Frontier. And so what I've done is I've created sets for all of them. And so I'm just going to be talking about all of these. So of course, as you can see, obviously I didn't like authentically get this Pokemon. I've just edited using a program. So anyways, this is Alakazam. This is a Pokemon who I highly recommend to use. If you need a fast special attacker, Alakazam is your guy. His speed is, let me look at their base stats, as a matter of fact. But he has such a wide move pool. His base speed is 120. His base special attack is 135. He has the highest base special attack in the whole Gen 1 through 3, I believe. So he's very frail though. Like any physical hit is probably gonna kill him. But his special defense isn't too bad. But his powerful special attack makes up for it. So some of the best moves to give him: the Psychic, Calm Mind. He can learn all the elemental punches. He can also learn Recover. He can also learn Reflect. I can't remember if he can learn Light Screen, but I know he can learn Reflect. So those are some of the recommended movesets if you want to give him that. The best nature to give him would probably be either Modest, which increases special attack and lowers attack, or Timid, which increases speed and lowers attack. So the best ability would probably be Synchronize. His other ability is Inner Focus, but I think Synchronize would be better. And so these are the moves I gave him. And so yeah, highly recommend Alakazam. Netmon, highly recommend is Starmie. So Starmie, I put in S tier because similar to Alakazam, it just has a really wide move pool and is very fast and has really high special attack. It's not as high as Zam's, but its type coverage is elite. Thunderbolt, Surf, Ice Beam, Psychic, like these are all really good moves, very powerful as you can see. And if you just need a fast special sweeper, Starmie is your go-to. Like, it's easy to get in the game too. Like, you can get in Starmie very easily and train it up very easily in Pokemon Emerald, because all you got to do is catch it. You guys remember how I caught it near Lily Cove. Level it up with the Water Stone, and all these moves like Surf you get from HM, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam. I think its fourth move, it learned it by level up, I think. If not, like the rest of these moves you can get from the game corner, so all you have to do is buy them. So very easy to train up with Starmie. Next up is Dragonite. So Dragonite is a very versatile Pokemon because he's very strong, but he's a pseudo legendary dragon flying type, and his ability Inner Focus is the only ability he has. But here I gave him Adamant Nature, but he can also be a special attacker, but we're gonna go over the physical attacks that he has. If you look at his attack, that's ridiculous. His base attack I believe is 134, and he can just wreck the league. The only problem I have with Dragonite is his speed. His speed is only base 80, so that's why over Adamant it wouldn't be a bad idea to give him Jolly Nature to increase his speed and lower his special attack, if you're giving him a physical moveset. So for his physical moveset, I gave him Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Brick Break, and Aerial Ace. Some other moves he can learn Iron Tail. He can learn, of course, Fly, recently, actually, I had to learn the hard way that Dragonite cannot learn Rock Slide. I always thought he could, but he can't, which is weird, but yeah. So Earthquake, Brick Break, and Aerial Ace are some good moves. If you want to give him special attacking moves, that's great too, because he has base 100 special attack. He can learn Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt. He can learn Surf, Hydro Pump, I think he can learn Hydro Pump. And of course Dragon Claw. So he's just like, there's so many moves you can give to Dragonite, so I definitely recommend him, although you have to trade him over from another game because he's not obtainable in Emerald. Heracross, okay. I love Heracross. Heracross has got me through so many battles, and he's pretty easy to train up. You don't have to do a bunch of egg moves and stuff for him. So his best ability is definitely Guts. His other ability is good too. It's Swarm, which increases bug attacks when he's on low health. But I think Guts is even better because it says if he's suffering. So if he's like status used, if someone poisoned him, paralyzed and whatnot, it's like it increases his attacks. Now, the thing about Heracross is he's extremely strong. Like his attack stats really high. He has good special defense too. It's pretty solid, and he's pretty fast. He's not super fast, but like the bug and fighting type mitts is really good. You just have to watch out for flying type Pokemon because they may get you. So here's the moveset I would give Heracross. I feel like it's recommended to give Heracross a Choice Band. You can also give him like a Kingdra, or I forgot what the item is called that increases like bug moves, but anyways, this is the moveset. Mega Horn, Brick Break, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. Another great move he can learn is Aerial Ace if you want to give that to him to avoid missing. Not only does he have this set, but you can also give Heracross the classic Endure reversal set that I mentioned before. Bulk Up is a really good move. I actually usually give Heracross Bulk Up because although it's a TM that we get early in the game, he can learn it by level up, which is really cool. But if you want to go with like Mega Horn, which he learns by level up, Earthquake from either Egg Move or TM, and then Endure and Reversal, which I think Reversal he learned by level up too. That's also recommended. And a Salic Berry along with that set will help boost his speed, because his speed, I wish his speed was a bit higher, because it's, I think, base 85. But Heracross is really good wall breaker. So Skarmory. So the reason I put Skarmory in S tier, all the Pokemon I'm showing right now in this video are S tier, by the way. So the reason I'm showing Skarmory for S tier is because Skarmory just has such a great typing in Steel and Flying. It's such a good defensive Pokemon to have as your anchor, and it's a great lead too. Like, it can lead your team really well. Definitely give it the ability Sturdy. I cannot stress that enough. You don't have to worry about Horn Drill or Sheer Cold, and obviously Fissure won't hit regardless because he's a flying type. You don't have to worry about that. That's so helpful. So give him Sturdy, and then a Bold Nature is what I gave him. Which increases his defense and lowers his special attack, I believe. Or does that lower his... I may have given him the wrong nature. Oh well. But anyways, so if you EV train Skarmory, I highly recommend actually EV train in special defense, not defense. His defense is base 140. He's already going to be able to take hits really well with this high HP and high defense. His special defense, however, is kind of lacking, so if you want to raise it, EVs, you'll already get high defense. Like the defense you see on him right now, it has like no EVs in it, I don't think. Like if there are, there's like barely any EVs in his defense right now. So definitely give him special defense and HP. He'll be able to tank hits like crazy, really good. Here's the moveset I gave him. Drill Peck, Toxic, Protect, and Spikes. Now, Skarmory has like so many different movesets you can give him. He has a great move pool. Some more recommended moves I would give him: Taunt, Rest, Fly. He can learn Whirlwind or Roar. You can give him a Counter. You can give him, excuse me. There's a few others that I can't think of. Maybe Aerial Ace if you don't want to miss against the double team spammers. But Drill Peck's for extra power because he does have low attack here. Toxic is very good so that he can just kind of stall out teams along with Protect. Drill Peck is just his attacking move. And then Spikes is a move that hurts foes that are switching in. And you can use 3 of them, up to 3. The more you use, obviously, the more it hurts them. So, not a lot of Pokemon can learn Spikes Gen 1 through Gen 3, but Skarmory can, so Skarmory's just so good. So yeah. Blissey, okay. So, Blissey is another Pokemon that can learn so many different moves. Blissey has 2 abilities. You can learn Serene Grace or Natural Cure. Natural Cure, I cannot talk. Natural Cure, I would give it because it heals whenever it switches out, as you can see. But Serene Grace is good, but it's mainly better for like sweepers, and obviously Blissey's not that. But Blissey, I gave it a Bold Nature because it has very, very, very low defense. Like its base defense is 10. That's horrible. So you want to give it some defense so it'll be able to take some physical attacks, right? So we gave it Bold Nature. Now, as you guys know, you're probably looking at Blissey's HP stat. Yeah, it's extremely high. Blissey has the highest HP, I think. Maybe all of Pokemon. I think the only Pokemon that can really compete is Shuckle. But Blissey's HP is just ridiculous. And it has pretty good special attack here as well. I gave it special attack and special... No, I didn't even give it special defense EVs, I don't think. Just special attack and defense, and I think... Yeah. So, the reason why... Let's see. Yeah, so the reason why I didn't give it special defense, again, like, it can already take a bunch of special attacks, like, no problem at all. I know that because this thing has killed me so many times in the Battle Frontier. Because I'll be in a situation where I 1v1 against a Blissey, and the only thing I have is a special attacker. And I literally can't do anything. Even if I critical, it does nothing to it. So the item I would give Blissey would probably be Leftovers. Yeah, definitely Leftovers. So let's head to its... Whoops. I skipped. Sorry. So let's head to its moves. So here's the moveset I gave it. Soft Boiled, which increases its HP. It recovers HP. Seismic Toss. Now, Seismic Toss, you may be thinking, why do you give it a fighting... like an attacking move, but not raise its attack? Because Seismic Toss does not depend on your attack stat. It depends on your level. So... that's why the power, it doesn't show its power, because it doesn't matter what attack stat you have. It doesn't have like a, it has like a fixed amount of power, basically, that's why. So, the higher the level you are, as I mentioned earlier, the higher its attack will be. So that's why I gave it Seismic Toss. Which is really good, for just knocking down other Pokemon's HP. And then I gave it Heal Bell, which is really good, and I can't, like, really good for the Battle Frontier, especially for the Battle Pike and the Battle Pyramid. You'll see why, but the Heal Bell is going to become very useful. It can actually learn another move called Aromatherapy, which is pretty much the exact same move as Heal Bell. But Heal Bell, it learns by level up. Aromatherapy, it doesn't. And then Thunderbolt is just a special attacking move. You can also give it Ice Beam as well, but I went with Thunderbolt. You can go with either. Now, some other moves you can give it is Counter. The reason why I didn't give my Blissey Counter is because I don't think it'll be able to take that many physical hits in the first place, so I feel like it's kind of risky giving it Counter. It can also learn Calm Mind to raise its specials stats. You can give it, let's see, Toxic. You can give it Substitute. There is a Blissey in the Battle Frontier, and one of the sets that uses like a Calm Mind special, or Calm Mind Substitute set, which is extremely annoying. With Double Team 2, oh, it's horrible. But yeah, Blissey's really good. This is actually a shiny Blissey, and now that I'm looking at it. I can tell because if you look at the number above the Pokemon picture, it's in gold. That means it's a shiny. But shiny Blissey looks nearly identical to regular Blissey. But anyways, there's some other moves I probably forgot to mention, but definitely Soft Boiled. Soft Boiled is a must-have for Blissey, so definitely give it that. Okay. So, Raikou. So, Raikou, again, you can't get Raikou in Emerald. You can't get Blissey in Emerald either, again, unless you trade to the game. But he's an electric type. Now, of course, I mentioned that electric types usually, especially in this gen, they don't get a lot of love. They don't get that many moves to use. But Raikou is an exception because he doesn't learn a lot of moves, but the moves he does learn are good, and he has really good stats too. So he has Pressure, which lowers the foe's PP. I gave him a Timid Nature, which increases his speed and lowers his attack. Now here's the stats. He's trained in special. He's trained in speed and special attack. Yeah. And so here's his moveset: Calm Mind, Thunderbolt, Crunch, and Substitute. This is a really good set to give him. You can also give him like Reflect or what's the other move? I think Taunt. I think he can learn Taunt. But this is my favorite set to use for Raikou. A lot of people actually give him like one of the hidden powers in Gen 3 because his moveset is like so limited. Like the special attacking moves he does use is really Thunderbolt and Crunch. Like these are the best two options to give him, but when you mix that along with Calm Mind and Substitute, he is just so dangerous. So he's really fun to use. I would give him Leftovers as well. I think I forgot to mention what I would give some of the others. Let's see, Skarmory I would give Leftovers to. Heracross either Choice Band or King's Rock, or Shellbell. Dragonite, since he's a Dragon Dancer, I would give him Lumberry. Lumberry's also really good for Dragonite. I would give him Lumberry. Starmie, I would give. You could give Skarmory a Choice Band, but I would go with Lumberry. Lumberry for Alakazam too. Okay, moving on. Suicune. So Suicune is more or less the same with Raikou. But this Suicune is a defensive Suicune, as you can see. Has Pressure again. I gave it a Bold Nature, and it's trained in Special Defense and HP. So it still has high defense, and it still has good enough special attack, but that special attack is going to be boosted with some more Calm Minds, and it can learn Surf and Ice Beam and then Rest. So with Rest, I would give it probably Chesto Berry. Resto Chesto set is really good. Now you can also give this thing a Substitute as well. Substitute works. Hydro Pump if you want to give a Hydro Pump for extra power. But yeah, Suicune's really good. Swampert. Okay, so Swampert, I love using Swampert. He is one of the best, and I mean like Swampert's one of the most commonly used Pokemon in the Battle Frontier. One, because obviously you don't have to trade him unless you choose another starter on Emerald. But he is just like all reliable, you know. He's so versatile. So his ability here is Torrent. That's the only ability he could have. I gave him Hardy Nature, which is one of the neutral natures. And so he's trained in different stats. Well, obviously, but like he's trained some in HP, some in attack, and I think some in defense. I think it's those three. So he's not trained at all in special attack, despite me giving him 2 special attacks, which is kind of weird, I know. But I would give him Leftovers. And here's the set I gave him. Surf for Stab, Earthquake for Stab, and because it's Earthquake. Counter, because he has high defense, and he'll be able to counter those physical moves off, and then Ice Beam for coverage. Swampert is just so good. Having only one weakness, I'm telling y'all, like, if you can use Swampert for like pretty much all the facilities, he is so good. I cannot express that enough. Use a Swampert, and he's so easy to build a team around. He's a great like foundation for your team, so highly recommend him. Milotic. Okay, so there's the Pokemon who no one wants to catch or evolve, but there's another water type. Most of these are water types, but but it has Marvel Scale, which is a really good ability. And I gave it a modest nature to boost its special attack, but I didn't train in special attack. I trained in HP and special defense. Look how high that special defense is, and its HP is pretty dang good too. I would give Milotic leftovers, and I gave it this set: Surf, Ice Beam, Recover, and Mirror Coat. You can also give it Toxic. You can also give it maybe Rest if you want, but this is typically the moveset most people use. A lot of people replace Mirror Coat with Toxic, which is understandable. But the reason I like giving it Mirror Coat is because it, with this high special defense, like, you can just reflect those special attacking moves off of it. It can take Thunders, it can take Giga Drains, it doesn't matter. If you just Mirror Coat it off, you can kill the other Pokemon. That's what I really like about it. Salamence, okay. So Salamence is just really good. I mean, he's just a really good Dragon type. Similar to Dragonite, he doesn't have as high attack, but I think he is faster than Dragonite. So I gave him Jolly Nature, and he has an even better ability than Dragonite, and Intimidate. Salamence, again, one of the best you can use. Oh my god. I forgot to... He's level 0. I didn't even notice this before. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. But I do know, like, the moveset I would give him. Oh, I think I did give him a moveset though. Hold on. Okay, so here's the moveset I would give him. Dragon, that's how you know this is hacked. But I don't really care right now. So here's the moveset I highly recommend for Salamence. Dragon Dance, Aerial Ace, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. You can give him Brick Break to cover rock types and ice types. But rock type is good for the flinching. Aerial Ace for stab. Earthquake because Earthquake. And then Dragon Dance for setting up. I would give him Lumberry, but Salamence is really good to be your lead since he has Intimidate. If you want to give him like special attacking set, that's good. But I mean, yeah, that's good because his special attack is 110, so it's higher than Dragonite's. Now that I'm looking at it, his attack is higher than Dragonite's as well, only by 1 point. But Salamence is really good. He's even faster than Dragonite, so he's probably better to use than Dragonite, to be honest with you. Because in this generation, Dragonite didn't even have Thick Fat yet, so Salamence is really good. You can give him Flamethrower, you can give him Dragon Claw, Crunch. You can also give him Double Edge. Double Edge is a great move to put on Salamence. Like I said, Brick Break. I don't think he can learn Ice Beam, but he can actually learn Hydro Pump through Egg move. So Salamence is really good. He's really fast, really strong. His defenses aren't that bad either, so he can take hits, especially with the Intimidate, like I mentioned. I know I keep mentioning it, but like, Intimidate is so good, y'all. Metagross, alright. Well, this one's leveled up. So Metagross is probably top 5. Like, top 5 you can use. I cannot express how good Metagross is. His type coverage is really good. His ability is really good. If he gets an Adamant Nature, it's over. Like, it's over. This is his attack. And he has just great all-around stats. He is a little bit slow. I think his base speed is like, what, 70? Let me see. His base speed is 70, but his base attack is 135. That's the same as Salamence. And his base defense, 130. He has pretty good special attack too, is 95. But I wouldn't give him any special moves because you want to fill those slots in with physical moves. So, with this, Metagross is a great defensive Pokemon and great offensive. He's great all around. So, he's just so good. And he learns like the best steel type move in the game, Meteor Mash. 100 power, 85 accuracy, and there's a chance that it raises attack. He's like one of just a few Pokemon that can learn Meteor Mash. In fact, I don't think any other steel types in the game can learn Meteor Mash other than Metagross, which is weird, but true. So you can give him Explosion. I like giving him Explosion, because why not? Shadow Ball for coverage, and Earthquake because Earthquake. This moveset got me through and got me some gold symbols. It's really good. You can also give him, some people give him Ice Punch, but I wouldn't recommend it that much in this generation because it's not physical. But some people also give him Sludge Bomb, which is good, but not as good as these, I think. You can give him Sludge Bomb. You can also give him Brick Break. In fact, now that I think about it, I think I had Brick Break over Explosion. But yeah. The move or the item I would give him, definitely a Choice Band. Give him that Choice Band, and he will do so much damage. I'm telling you, Metagross is a beast, absolute beast. If you put Metagross on a team with Swampert, like, those two are probably the best dynamic duo in the whole entire Battle Frontier. Metagross and Swampert, because they're just so strong. They're so strong all around. They're just not super fast, that's all. Latios. So, Latios, that completes the dream team that everyone often uses for Battle Frontier. But Latios is good just because it has really good coverage, and it's a great special attacker. It's really fast. And again, you don't have to trade. You actually get Latios on Pokemon Emerald. Well, yeah. So, you don't really want to give Latios a physical set. You can, because it has like, alright, let me see. It has base 90 attack, but it has base 130 special attack. Like, don't neglect that special attack. Definitely use it. It has Levitate, so you don't have to worry about fissures or earthquakes. And it has base 110 speed, 110 special defense. So it can take hits too. On its physical side, it's gonna be pretty frail, its defense, but it's fast. If this one has modest nature, but you can also give it timid nature if you want. And whoops, here's his moves. So I gave it Dragon Claw, Calm Mind, Thunderbolt, Psychic. So Dragon Claw, and the other, so those are for whatchamacallit, for stab, of course, and then Calm Mind to raise the specials. Thunderbolt, you know how it works. So Thunderbolt is good because you, most of the time, whenever you're playing, you always want something for water types. Water type Pokemon are the scariest typing in the game. They're also probably the most common because it is Gen 3, which is Hoenn, which is a region filled with water. But water types are very dangerous. You want to get Thunderbolt on this thing. You can also like, there's some sets in the Battle Frontier that have this thing like physical, like it can learn Shadow Ball. You can also give this thing Ice Beam if you want. Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, you can learn Earthquake, you know, a lot of moves. But this is probably the best moveset to give it. And the fact that it's a legendary and you can still use it, take advantage of that, guys. And this is Latios' sister, pretty much, Latias, which is same typing, but Latias is more of a defensive type. That's the difference between it and Latios. Basically, the only difference between the two is that Latias has 130 special defense and 110 special attack. So basically, their specials are just flipped. Everything else is the same between these two. So I just changed it up a little bit. I EV trained, this one's trained up in HP and special defense, I think. Might be trained in defense. It looks like it's trained in defense as well. A little bit of speed, a little bit of defense, and special defense, and HP, pretty much. But this one, I would highly recommend giving it Recover. It's a great defensive move. Recover and Calm Mind, so good. And then 2 stab moves. You can also give it, you know, whatever other special moves you think is necessary. But this one I would give Leftovers to. So that's pretty much the S tier ranked Pokemon that I want to talk about. That's all who I have. These guys, all in this box, these are my most recommended ones. Some people would add some from this to this S tier list, some people remove some. But these guys, I feel like, are the best choices. If you really want those gold symbols, these are the movesets to give it. whether you want to train them up legitimately or not. Obviously, these aren't legitimate. I used an editor again, but highly recommend these. And yeah, they are really fun to use. So next up, I'm going to talk about the A tier Pokemon, which is going to have more Pokemon in it, but I just want to go over those and talk about what are the best movesets and all that for them.